So Emeka Egbuka got his first accolade of his NFL career, and I think it definitely is going to be a path where he does get a lot more. Shout out to Sleeper, by the way. More on them a little bit later on in this video. So, Emeka Egbuka was named the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Month for September. He led all rookies for touchdowns with 4 touchdown catches and 282 receiving yards. Emeka Egbuka is on pace for over 1,000 receiving yards this year, double-digit touchdowns. The dude has been an absolute beast, right? We all know how good Egbuka has been, especially with the absence of Mike Evans due to his hamstring injury, Chris Godwin at the beginning of the year due to him still recovering from his ankle injury, and also with Jalen McMillan being on the IR because of his neck injury. Egbuka has had to step up in a big way, and he has. 100% point blank simple as that, no question about it, right? And I think he does deserve the accolade. And there's been a lot of people, not just Bucs fans, but my colleagues on the NFC South Roundtable and just all over the NFL who have been saying, like, this dude could be Offensive Rookie of the Year, which would be phenomenal, right? I don't even remember the last time the Buccaneers had an Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think to like Cadillac Williams might have gotten that accolade, but like I genuinely don't remember. If you guys know, let me know down in the comments section because I'm not going to look it up right now. But it is so awesome to see, right? It is so awesome to see Egbuka going out there doing great stuff. And look, when we talk about Egbuka, whenever we talk about that selection that was made at number 19 overall, I am still in, and I'm not going to shy away from my original thought and opinion of it, is look, I wanted an inside linebacker or a pass rusher, okay? Because I thought that positional need trumped overall maybe a top player on their board need, okay? And I still hold to that belief, okay? Emeka Egbuka is not the guy who I would have picked, right? But the circumstances have fallen where Egbuka has had to come out and has had to make an impact right away, and he has been able to do so. And it was never a question of talent with Egbuka, right? I actually felt bad because Egbuka is such a talented guy. He was a player that, like, okay, yeah, you can see him going in the first round, just not to Tampa Bay, given all of the needs that were on the defensive side of the ball. But the circumstances change and change quickly, right? Where, look, even the Bucs couldn't have predicted that Jalen McMillan was going to be on the IR and that Evans was going to get a bad hamstring and that Godwin, they probably did predict this one, but that Godwin was going to be out for the first couple of weeks of the season, right? And that Egbuka would be thrust into a situation where really he has to be your number one wide receiver. Even the Bucs couldn't have predicted that, right? That wasn't going to be their original plan for Egbuka either. But he has stepped up in these moments and he has excelled and excelled well, right? And we even talked about this after the pick was made, where it's like, look, regardless of if you agree or don't agree with the selection, or in positional value and stuff like that, okay, in 2 to 3 years, when Evans and Godwin are likely done with this football team, and Evans is probably retired, and who knows what's going to happen with Godwin at that point, he'd probably still stick around, but you guys get my point. Egbuka would be your number one wide receiver in like 2 to 3 years' time, right? That's not a crazy thing to say. This dude looks like a number one wide receiver right now. That's how crazy this situation is. And we always talk about that, like, hey, whenever everybody's back and healthy game, because that's just how it goes with the Bucs. But they have 3 legitimate number one wide receivers in their roster. Mike Evans, of course, is a number one. We all know this. Chris Godwin, I mean, people forget that the Patriots were literally willing to give Godwin so much money this offseason. It wasn't like 30 million or something crazy per year, 40 million, I don't remember. And Godwin took that pay cut to stay with the Bucs, right? He is, so obviously the Patriots view him as the number one wide receiver. That's at least one other team in the league that views him as such. And then you have Emeka Egbuka, which this dude just, the catches that he makes, where it's all hands, it's just the toughest types of catches, where exhibiting body control, exhibiting control of hands, the focus, everything that you see with Egbuka is just like, this dude could be a number one right now, and that would not be a crazy thing to say, right? And I know that whenever we started this season, I had talked about expectations for Egbuka and about how, like, hey, with all the depth at wide receiver, don't expect 1,000 yards from Egbuka. Now, given the circumstances, you could expect him to at least get close, minimum, in my opinion. He's already a chunk of the way there. If he gets 750 receiving yards, I think that's the floor right now for Egbuka. I really do believe that. So it's just awesome. It's just awesome to see, man. Um, I didn't, at the time, it was like, why did they pick this guy? But the circumstances have fallen where he has had to make an impact right away. And he's made an impact right away, dude. And regardless of how people feel about, like, should have drafted this position, should have drafted that position, and I'm there, because we are seeing weaknesses in those position groups. Abuka's playing well, man. And it was never a doubt on the player himself. It was more so the fit. And the dude's an absolute dog, and it's great. It's great to see him succeed. So, congratulations to Emeka Egbuka. What are your guys' thoughts and opinions about him? One more thing, everybody, I do want to say shout out to Sleeper, the proud sponsor of this channel. If you guys do use the code MrBucs, you will get a $100 deposit match up to $100. Guys, make sure you go download the Sleeper app today and enjoy football the way it was meant to be. That is together. But as always, guys, I'll see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now and go Bucs.